We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. See, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but we them nothing but Niners. What's going on, faithful? It's your boy 49ers Breezy and my brother NJ Niner Fan 499, aka Tony Stacks. Yo, what's going on, baby?
What's up, man? Today's draft day. It's here.
Draft day.
Shit is getting hot already, man. There's rumors flying already. We're gonna touch it. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna touch it on this show. Man, all I'm gonna say, I just got a funny feeling. Set your alerts. Well, you're gonna be watching us, hopefully, but if you can't, set your alerts because it's gonna be busy today, I think.
All right, guys, before we kick off this show, man, we're going to get into the formalities very, very quickly. Number one, make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button. Guys, the more you subscribe to our channel, the more we can put out content. And if your alerts are on when you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you will definitely know when we're going to present to you guys another live show. As you can see, this draft preparation has been creating shows after shows. So it's not just Mike, it's not just Nick, it's not just Tony, it's not just Wayne. We all are trying to bring you guys content because after the show, it's the after party. Then after the party, you already know the words, right? So check this out, man. We're going to keep bringing you shows. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Second, make sure you following us on Twitter and Snapchat. That's at nothing but 9ERS. That's on Twitter and Snapchat. We are also on Facebook. We are also on Instagram. That's nothing space but space Niners all the way out, guys. We're nothing but Niners, man. All right. Our website, www.nothingbutniners.com. We're putting out draft content. We're putting out articles. We're going to see nothing but write-ups. The writers will be at work and super busy day one of the draft. So please make sure you go to our website and you guys go check out those articles and feel free to share the article on your Twitter, your Facebook profiles. All right, man, you can email us any questions, any ideas, anything you guys want to talk to us, man. Make sure you email us at nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. That is our official email. That is where you want to send your information. And last but not least, you can stop and you can shop on shopnb9ers.com. That's shopnothingbutniners.com. You see, I got my cool coffee mug, man. I haven't had a cup of coffee out of this yet. I have only been sipping tea and Mai Tais, man, because I'm trying to be healthy and stay healthy, whatever like that. But, guys, we are going to bring you a crazy show, man. This is a pre-draft show, Tone, and what we want to do is we want to bring everyone, the latest news, the latest rumors, we got some draft day trades that may go down. I got a question for y'all, and I'm going to kick off the show with the question, and then we're going to start the show, and we're going to get right into it. I promise we're going to only be before you an hour. I got food to prepare. I know many of you guys got food to prepare. I think this was the 2017 draft day hat. You know what I'm saying? And I need the 49ers and New Era to go back to the exclusive fitteds for every team, not just that one little joint and then put a little saying on there. But I will be rocking today's draft hat on tonight's draft show. Speaking of that, make sure you guys are tuning in to our YouTube channel at 7:30 p.m. where we will be going live and bringing you guys the draft show, the one and only draft show. All right, Tony, check this out, man. Here's my question. Will the 49ers only be drafting day 1, day 3, day 4, and so on? Or will we see the 49ers back on day 2 of the 2020 NFL draft? What are your thoughts?
I definitely think you're going to see him on all 3 days. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, there's a lot of rumors going on. I see the Map Crow already posted one of them. It's going to be active, guys. I'm telling you now, so stay tuned. Try to keep an eye out if you could sit and hang out with us. I think from what I've read, both picks have deals in place to move. at the time of selection if the players are not there. So we're going to just stay at that right now. I do think they're going to have picks on all 3 days. I do think Goodwin's going to be moved. They're saying that he could be moved before the end of the first round. So that's really an interesting scenario.
Man, it's super funny that you said that because you and I haven't talked today. And I mean, obviously, we have been paying attention to the 49ers news out there. And obviously, we have some of the same notes, right? So you're talking about Goodwin, you're talking about Breida. Those are two guys that seem to be expendable with the 49ers. Why do you think those are the two players that are most expendable for the 49ers? Do you think we get that much back in capital, or are we just looking for a piece on return because we're trying to move forward and upgrading our system?
I don't know if it's a straight return that we're looking for. It could be part of a package deal to make it sweeter on our end. Instead of us having to give up picks, we're going to attach one pick with this player, and we're going to get them picks in return. Breida, listen, man, he came out on fire to begin his career. He has some fumbles issues. He had little health problems. But there's a report out there saying he's even looking for a new start. So what did the Niners do? They put a second-round tag on him to protect him from, going out with the original tag, the original tender, which would be what he was drafted as, which he wasn't drafted, and it was an undrafted free agent. It would just be he would sign and go. The Niners either had an option to match it or there was nothing in return. So Breida is talented. Goodwin, obviously, teams see something in him. So, I don't know, man. I just can't wait for this shit to start, bro.
Yeah, man. It's about to go crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest all the way from England. We're going to bring my man Nick in here, man. He is going to come in here, and he's going to help us chat up what's going on. And we want to get his perspective from abroad. So we're going to bring him on in here. What's going on, bud?
Yo, Breezy, Tony, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Nick?
I like to see you that you're outside, man, getting some fresh air with all this corona going on, man. How's it going over there?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We're fourth week of lockdown, I think. And it's still not good. I think we had another 600 deaths here. I think we're over 18,000, something like that.
Jeez.
And it's pretty bad.
Let the people know where you are. They might not know where you are.
I'm actually based near a town called Brighton, which is sort of southeast coast, United Kingdom. And bizarrely enough, Brighton had the first case of coronavirus in the UK, which was quite scary. So yeah, it's been rough. I've been furloughed. So I decided I thought I'd come outside. It's a nice evening. It will get dark here probably in about half an hour, so I'll have to go inside. But yeah, no, pretty good, fellas. How are you both doing?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good. I'm doing good. Family's healthy, and we're just staying safe, man. We're not taking anything out of like if they say stay in the house, that's what we do. Grocery store. If I gotta get gas, I'll tell you one thing. My car is happy, man. I ain't been putting no miles on my car. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, man, we're staying safe here. And the cool thing is I've been able to bring you guys plenty of content. But I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad that your family's doing well. And I'm glad that you're, staying safe out there in the UK, man. Tony?
Yeah, we're it's quite hard here because parks are closed. All non-essential shops are closed. So I mean, you probably can't really see my hair because I've got about 50 gallons of gel on it. But I haven't had a haircut in nearly 3 months because I took the decision not to have a haircut just before they locked everything down. So no bars are open, no cinemas are open. The only things that are open are gas stations and supermarkets and mini markets. Apart from that, forget it. Everything else is closed. Lockdown.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, he wanted to know how you guys were doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same here. I'm an essential employee, so I have to go to work. The wife is home with my kids and stuff like that. So we're pretty much hanging in the house. It's the same thing here. I mean, some people don't take it serious, but some people do take it serious. And if you don't take it serious, you really need to take it serious. We're all good here. Same thing like Nick said, food store. Wayne said the same thing, gas. We go for a ride in the car, come home. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you could do.
Yeah, man. Just keeping it safe, man. Right,
Did
man.
I hear the beaches were opening again in Miami or something?
Not up my way, maybe down south in Miami. They had a beach open, I think in Florida somewhere, but not up north, man.
But there's a lot of restrictions, though. It's not just like, okay, it's open, let's go hang out. No, there's like X amount of people are allowed on at a certain amount of time between the time frame. You cannot sit. You could just walk.
Okay.
You have to walk like separate, like spaced out. It's crazy, man. Like I don't know. Just stay in your house.
Yeah.
Just stay in your freaking house. That's it. I mean, you know, I got my nice backyard. I go outside with the kids. There's no obviously coronavirus in the grass, but you know, the kids are going nuts in the house. I feel bad, but it is what it is. I'd rather have them safe.
That is, man. And to all my barbers out there, man, I know you guys aren't working, but listen, man, if you go on Amazon and you get you a pair of Andy's Trimmer 2s, right, and then you can get the clippers, the clip masters or whatever, man, you better go on YouTube and learn how to cut your own hair. These are the times where you're going to have to start doing for yourself. It's a pandemic. It's crazy right now. So, man, either don't cut your hair, don't shave, or figure out how to do it yourself. All right, because I had to learn how to do that in college. Don't act like y'all don't remember those days. Now, let's get back to our show. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to talk about was Kyle Shanahan posted his war room, man. He gave us a tour of his crib. Did everybody see Kyle Shanahan's war room today? And his crib. His crib looked pretty nice. And he got mad kids, too. I was like, dang, he got 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. I was like, wow, they over there cooking. All right, man. So did anybody see that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I took a look at it.
Now let's compare and contrast the war rooms. Whose war room was more like, you know, I like to use the word cold, meaning badass. Was it Kyle Shanahan's or was it John Lynch's? Because my vote goes to Lynch.
Yeah, I like Lynch's.
Yeah, Lynch is definitely he's definitely got his finger on the pulse, I think, John Lynch, for tonight. Yeah, it's like Kyle's just sporadic. He got stuff here. You know, I mean, it was organized, but Lynch was like, you know, it looked like a machine. It looked like Voltron, like head, feet, legs, arms, the mouth, the ears. Like Lynch joint was 100% like superb. Like he was ready for them to ask him about it. So Kyle went and did it himself. And Kyle said, look, man, I'm not the tech guy, yo. So I'm probably going to get in trouble for, you know, talking about the quality of this video. But here, this is what we're doing. And it's cool. I tell you what, both of those guys, Kyle Shanahan and General Manager John Lynch, their war rooms look 9 billion times better than Commissioner Roger Goodell's. I can tell you that because I saw his too today.
I think mine's better than Goodell's.
Tony is going to post an exclusive shot of his war room or video of his war room at the 7:30 pre-show. So make sure you guys are back on here at 7:30 p.m. Draft starts at 8 p.m. So we're going to go on at 7:30 and talk to you guys about some things. Maybe some trades happen and we'll be able to break you some news before the draft. Maybe not. All right, a couple of other things. Debo posted Debo a couple of days ago put out a video saying that he knows who Kyle Shanahan is drafting. I want to know what you guys got to say about that. And Kendrick Bourne tweeted today that Kyle Shanahan is the best coach in the NFL. He can't wait till the draft. What are your guys' takes on those two comments from those two different players? 2 wide receivers at that. Like 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't have us taking a wide receiver. I did WhatsApp you my mock draft that you know I'm no good at, and I only did one, and I sent it to you on WhatsApp. But I don't think we're taking a receiver. I still think we're going to pick in the picks we've got, but I don't think wide receiver. I think we're going to go either tight end or so probably tight end at 31, and possibly maybe taking a defensive tackle with the 13th. I can't see us. One of those might be traded back, but I think if Kinlaw is available at 13, I think we got to take him.
Yeah, man, that's very, it's very realistic, yo. The more and more it gets closer to draft, I don't know why I got butterflies in my stomach, like I'm actually making the pick or calling in the pick or whatever like that. I do got Kyle's number on my phone, but I'm just saying, like, I'm getting nervous because at the end of the day, like you have your, if you watched our show last night, guys, like the war room here was ridiculous, right? And it got to the point to where, like, and Tony can attest to it. It got to the point like F it. Who do you want? Who do you want? Like, right? Because we literally could have spent at least 6 to 7 hours like not agreeing. And that's what Mike wanted. Like Mike wanted us to not agree. Like he wanted us to disagree on every pick and create this board, which we did. And then of course we had our similarities. But I thought that was super cool. And it was an exact replica of how it can go down. Kyle Shanahan said he got 30 people, y'all. 30 people that are helping him make decisions in one what's that? What do they use? One Zoom meeting, right? And then it's him and John on another Zoom meeting, and then I think they got another Zoom meeting. Like, so they got 3 different Zoom meetings, 3 different accounts, 3 different devices to sit there and get this draft crack-a-lacking. And I just can't imagine the 30 members. I'm sure it's going to be all the scouts, all the coaches, all that type of stuff that's going to give their expertise. Hey, this is the guy we should go after, blah, 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 whatever. I know many of you guys like whoever, but let me just get Tony's take on that. Tony, how do you feel about both wide receivers posting, praise about Kyle Shanahan today, this week on their Twitter accounts?
I like it. I mean, it shows you like how well tight-knit this locker room is and also the respect for Kyle. And they're also trying to send a message as well out to the guys that are coming in because we all know we're going to draft a wide receiver. And, I just like, listen, Kyle's a young coach. We could all agree to that. I think he's 39 or 40 years old. And he's like a happening guy. He's like young, that he fits right in with these guys. And he's a player's coach. But on the other hand, they know when enough is enough as far as when it's time to be serious. But I like it because it just shows that the camaraderie with this team is unreal. And they're trying to send that message out to the people that are about to be a part of this team via the draft tonight and the next 2 nights.
Excellent, man. All right, guys. Let's kick off these mother freaking rumors before we get into our show. For real. All right. So let's start with non-team rumors. Right, and then let's address the team rumors. All right, so non-team rumors, you still got that Juju joint hanging out of there, right? The Juju shoe, whatever his name is, Juju from Pittsburgh, and the tight end Fickle was being put out there. Now, if Tampa Bay had the right, package, for us to get OJ Howard, would we give it a go with the draft, so close? And then we'll go ahead and tack on the 49er rumors. So what do you guys feel about Juju? Should we just smack that away?
Yeah, that was never happening.
That was never happening. All right, What do you think, Nick? No? Now, here you go. You guys
about it.
You got to look at the Juju guy, right? Because it was never official. I got it, but just because it was never official doesn't mean it wasn't a rumor. Rumors are rumors because somebody is talking to somebody, right? So that's what starts a rumor. So the fact that Juju might have been out there is don't shoot it down yet. Now we do know that Juju is a proven wide receiver. We do know that Pittsburgh develops what? Wide receivers. And if we were to trade for Juju, right, that means we don't have to have the pressure of us drafting a wide receiver in the first round. So you guys said it's dead. We'll smack it dead. All right, let's talk about OJ Howard. Is that done too?
I don't know if we ever had. I know the media is trying to initiate the interest. I think Kyle's main guy is the other tight end. If you're asking me to pick which one that Kyle would want, I think it's definitely
Evan Ingram. You mean?
I think it's definitely Evan Ingram.
Well, they're both athletic, right? They're both.
I think Evan Ingram's a little more athletic than him.
Absolutely.
This guy, what's his name? OJ Santiago or something? What's his? OJ Howard?
Yeah, Howard.
Howard.
There was another tight end, Santiago, that someone had. I used to want him, but that's irrelevant. But I would take Evan Ingram over him because he's like a 4.5, a 4.4, 4.5 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're talking about a chess piece that could create issues for a defense. He could line up in a slot. He could line up flexed off the line. He's your true motion guy, where Howard is your like inline guy. And I don't think we need another inline guy because we have probably the best tight end in the league. So you're just looking for adding that secondary piece to take advantage. You want to add pieces to this offense so they can take it to that next level. Even though we already went to the Super Bowl, but you want to take it to the next level.
And Nick, how do you feel about those guys? You on mute, Nick.
Sorry, I was coughing, so I had to. OJ Howard, not for me. Ingram, yeah, that's a possibility, but I still like the guy from Missouri.
Okay.
I can't even pronounce his name. Albert Bajungi or whatever his
We're
name
just gonna go Albert O. Like I'm not messing up anyone's name until they say their name, and then I record it and practice it 100 times. Absolutely. No, I definitely get where you guys are coming from.
I mean, as you know, I do have a guy in the Missouri. Well, he's not Missouri now. Obviously, he's going into the draft in Cal Garrett. So I've watched a lot of Missouri over the last 2 years. He's had his injury issues, but when that guy is fit, he is just different class. Different class. I mean, Drew Lock, just before he went into the draft the year before, I mean, that guy was amazing passing to him, and he's got a big catch radius. He's fast. He can block. So, you know, I do like that guy, but I think they'll probably put. I mean, I think he'll go in the first round. Whether they'll pick him or not, I don't know. But he has had his injury issues, which is a shame, really, because, you know, he may slip into the second, but he's definitely a first-round prospect, I think, anyway.
Okay, I like that, man. So you think the 49ers might look into the draft? All right, let's tackle on these team rumors. Guys, earlier in this week, there were 4 49er players that were rumored to be traded or on the trade block. It wasn't a rumor; it was actually true. Like even we Lynch said it himself. It's 4 players, right? There was Goodwin, D Ford, Jaquiski Tart, and
Quan.
Who am I missing?
Quan Alexander.
Quan Alexander. Thank you so much. So far, I feel like the news has kind of died down on 2 of those players, Jaquiski Tarp and Quan Alexander. But D Ford is trending right now in the news. Matt Breida is trending, who wasn't talked about in those 4 players to be moved, who just signed his $3-point-something million tender. And of course, the leading of the news was Marquise Goodwin, right? So let's talk about those guys. What have you heard about those 3 guys being moved? We'll go with Tony and Nick.
You hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I definitely think out of the group, out of all the rumors, I think we all agree that Goodwin's gone. They're working on that now. Quan is going to be very tough to trade before June 1st. So I don't think it's going to be, if they're going to trade him, it's going to be after June 1st due to the structure of the contract and the bonuses. I honestly think D Ford, I think he's going to stay. And I think Tart's going to stay unless they get blown away for Tart. But I think those 2 guys are going to stay. I still think there's a possibility, and I know I'm a huge Tevin Coleman guy. There's a possibility Coleman could be moved. There's a possibility Breida could be moved.
Do you mean Coleman being traded or Coleman being cut?
No, traded. If a deal is offered, I think they would. If it's a fair deal, they're getting a good return. I think they can move on from him.
Correct.
I think right now the 49ers are in the position where they were 2 years ago when they went into the draft in the first round and they took McGlinchey. And I know I said this before on other shows. They were able to get somebody, and then they had that next move where they traded Trent Brown. I think you could see something similar into this. That's why I'm saying D Ford, I think, is safe, even though he has a high cap number, because I don't think there's an edge rusher as explosive as D Ford in this draft where we're going to be picking and looking for an edge rusher. We all know Chase Young's the top guy.
There is one guy I think that I like. And
that I know who you're talking about.
I'm talking about the kid out of Penn State.
Yeah, the Matos. Gross Matos, Gross, whatever.
Gross Matos. Yep.
He is good. He's an excellent athlete, but the problem with him is he's raw. He's very raw, And now your window's open. Do you want a mortgage? I mean, you could still add him if he's high on your board. You could add him, and you could groom him, and then you can move on from Ford possibly next year.
Correct.
So I just kind of think Ford's going to stay because when Ford was on the field, this defense took off. This defense performed. I know it wasn't often, but when they were all on the field and all healthy, this defense played lights out.
Yeah, I totally agree. Nick, how do you feel about those guys?
I mean, I think Breeder is going to be trade bait because, and maybe cut Coleman. I know Tony's high on Coleman, but I can't. We've obviously got Jet in the background still. We don't know what he brings. He took a pay cut to prove himself. I don't think they should mess with the defense because the defense, as it is, and Cap aside, that defense took us a long way. D Ford, when he was on the field, was explosive. Quan, lights out. Tar, I'm not too sure, but my running back room would be definitely Mostert, definitely Jeff Wilson Jr. Who else am I forgetting? Jet McKinnon. And I would go with those guys. I just don't. I mean, Tony, can you explain to me why you're so high on? I've forgotten his name.
Coleman. I like Coleman because he's that guy that'll give you 2, 3, 4 yards, 6 yards, and then break one for 30 yards. And I'm not saying that that's a legit reason to retain him. He's on a fair contract. He is probably the second most tradable out of the running backs. I think Breida will go first for some strange reason because I think teams could get Breida on a cheaper deal. They can bring him in on this tender that he signed for $3 million. I think Coleman's is $6 million right now. So you're getting a younger player with less mileage for half the price. That's why I think Breida could go first. And then Coleman, if anything, if they find a running back, Coleman could be moved. I like Coleman because he gives you something out of the backfield as a receiver. His pass pro is, I would say, probably second best on the team to, I think Jeff Wilson might have the edge as a pass protector out of the backfield, picking up a blitz off the edge. But it's overall knowledge of the scheme. And I think Kyle and I think the running back, Bobby Turner, feels comfortable with him. They have like a comfort level because they knew him from Atlanta. They took him from Atlanta, brought him here. But right now he's on the roster. So we're going to go with that. He's going to stay on the roster until they make a move or they decide to move on from him. But listen, man, it all depends on the market. If there's a team looking for a running back, they want to cough up a fourth for him. You know what I'm saying? I think he's gone. I think that they have such trust in their front office and their scouts. They could pluck a running back as an undrafted free agent, as you've seen, and throw him right into the mix.
Tony, do you think that Devonta Freeman is very, very similar to what Tevin Carter? I know, again, he's had his injury issues, and I get that.
Yeah.
But do you not think they're very, very similar in their style? I just don't, when you watch games and you could, I know Coleman scored 3 touchdowns against Green Bay? Was that the game or the one before?
It was against Carolina, and he had 4 touchdowns
against Carolina.
But it just doesn't excite me as much. I don't know, I've said Breeder's trade bait, but he just doesn't excite me as much as Jeff Wilson, as Breeder even. And he's just like a cart. I would call him a cart horse over here. So 2 or 3 yards a carry, blah. But and yes, sometimes he does break explosive plays. But when you look at Mostert, he's the one that excites me the most. And Jeff Wilson, because Jeff Wilson's got his place. And I don't think he's just a red zone running back. But I just can't, I don't know, I just can't figure it out with Coleman, and I do think him and Freeman are very, very similar. And obviously, there were rumours that we might be looking at Freeman, but they're very, very similar players.
Yeah, well, the difference between Freeman and Coleman is he has less mileage. Coleman, Freeman has more mileage on his body. The injuries are the injuries. They both get injuries. I just think Coleman is more of a slasher where he takes that one step, and you saw it versus Carolina. He stretches that ball out, he makes that step, and he cuts north or south or like straight down the field. He he hits that hole, and that's something that they are extremely big on. They love those one-cut runners. Mostert is a one-cut runner. Breida likes to dance around a little bit to try to find that second opening to take advantage, but they love the one-cut runners. Coleman's your one-cut runner. That's why I think they're holding on to him. And listen, guys, Mostert is not reliable as far as injury because sometimes he gets banged up. Breida, same thing. Jeff Wilson Jr. wasn't on a roster for a full season in a continuous rotation for a ball carrier. So it's about having that rotation, which they like. They like putting fresh legs in there, and they go with the hot hand.
I totally agree, man. I think the 49ers are a rotational running back system. If you think about their running backs, they all share similarities, but they also all have that one difference. And I kind of put it like this, man. I know a lot of 49er fans just aren't excited with Tico or whatever like that, unless he's scoring a touchdown. If he's scoring a touchdown, y'all cheering. I get it. And I get that the fact that when he gets stopped in the backfield, you're like, oh, but that wouldn't happen to Mostert. Well, it did. Or, oh, that wouldn't happen to Breida. Well, it did. Or, oh, that wouldn't happen to Jeff Wilson Jr. Well, it did. Like, all right, so here's the thing, man. If you guys are card collectors out there, man, you guys probably going to have some of your, your exotic cars, and that's your Mostert and probably like your Breida. They all do different things when it comes to speed. But everybody got a Cadillac, man. Everybody is going to own a Cadillac. Why? Because Cadillacs are reliable. And if I sit there and look at who Tevin Coleman is, like, I think he's just your reliable back. He's not going to fumble the ball. He might not get you he's averaging 4 yards a carry. I mean, last time I checked, if I'm not mistaken, 4 yards a carry is pretty damn good. Like, no, he's not that explosive guy that's going to get you 9 yards or whatnot, but he's definitely going to give you at like the average 4. Like, the whole thing is about gaining those positive yards. I just don't see Coleman going anywhere unless it's a money situation, Nick and Tony. If it's a money situation and the 49ers feel like they can free up some dough, because that's what it's coming down to. Listen, when you become a great team, when you're a good team, you can make things work. But when you become a great team, like, I'm not talking about the new Cadillacs. I'm talking about the old 1970 joints, like the joints that was made out of that the gangsters drove, and you could put bombs on there and they wouldn't blow up because of the metal. And I'm just playing, man. I'm talking about the old school Cadillacs, all right, not that new stuff. But nah, man, what I'm trying to say is, like, when you become a great team, it's really hard to keep the great team together because of money, right? Because of money. Like, money starts to play. You can't pay everybody top dollar. I know y'all play Madden and you guys start. You can't hold on to your players as much as you want to because you guys have a cap, right? I'm not saying Breida is the worst running back. I think they all have their freaking, strengths. But I think with the Breida situation is, me personally, I would love for Breida to have a chance in the NFL to showcase who he is and what he is. And if we could get him to a team that does that, I think we go. I think you find a way to trade him. You gain something back, whether it's a fifth, a sixth, whatever. You get something. I would love to get a 5th round pick for Matt Breida or a 4th round pick for Matt Breida. I think you go ahead and you get something back, and then you pick up someone in the draft to keep the running back system flowing, right? Or you go address it in free agency because now you got $6 million or $3 million you could play around with. So that's the running backs. All right. So let's go to Marquise Goodwin. We talked about D Ford. We talked about Breida, and why is Goodwin super expendable? And before we talk about this, let's bring in the one and only.
What's going on, fellas?
I phoned a friend.
Oh, you did? Well, it's funny because if this is the friend you phone, he kind of like don't really know what the hell he's talking about 9 times out of 10. But we'll go ahead and let Mike do his thing, man, because that's what he do. He do his thing.
I just wanted to come in here and show some love to you guys, see what y'all talking about in here, fellas. Hey, my man Nick over there, you staying up late for the draft, dude?
I am going to be up. I think it starts midnight here. Well, apparently that's when the show starts. But yeah, I'm going to be staying up. Probably stay up just for the first round. Just because I want to see, obviously, what we do and how we do it. I think my friend, hopefully, Cale Garrett will go within 7 rounds. If he doesn't, he'll be a undrafted free agent. But I will be keeping an eye on that, obviously, because he's my boy, and I'm really high on him. And hopefully, someone will take him within the first round. But we'll, in the first 7 rounds. But we'll see. But I'm good, Mike. How are you?
All is well, man. We're gonna be looking for your guy on day 3, so it'll be fun, man. Hopefully something happens. But I'm good. I'm just getting out of work, going to pick up my wings. Y'all know how I am. I got my superstitions and all. It's gonna work the same way tonight. Got to get my wings so I can keep the luck going.
Yes, sir. I got my wings marinating right now. I'm about to throw them suckers on the grill around 4 or 5 o'clock. Boy, it's about to go down. I got the ribs. Get ready to be smoked. Look, man, it's gonna be a good day in the Breezy family house, man.
I'm coming to your place. That sounds like fire right there.
Cool, man. As long as you stay 6 feet away, we are Gucci.
Hell yeah, man.
Shout out to our boy Sean, man. Thank you for the donation. Tony, this question's for you, all right? Tony, you hit it on Coleman. I've said it here for months. He is a slasher. Do you think we should be drafting a backup replacement for Juice? Thank you again, Sean, for your contribution.
I don't think they're going to draft it. I could see them try to bring somebody in as an undrafted free agent, a high reward, low risk type of guy. It doesn't cost you a draft pick where you could address other. You won't be. It takes away from you being able to address other needs. Honestly, I know he's a free agent after this year. I think the team will bring him back more on like a team friendly deal because he made a ton of money from us over the last 4 years. And I think he loves it there and he wants to be a part of a winning organization with a great culture. So yes, they could, but I just don't see them drafting. And honestly, I don't even think there's hold on. There was one guy that I saw. His name is Drew Wiley from Villanova. He's 6'1", 242. He ran a 4.5 40. So he's listed as a fullback, but he could be an H-back, anything. But according to the list, he is a priority free agent. So
what about the guy from Boston College, Tony?
AJ Dillon, you're going to have to draft to bring in.
Yeah, man.
Right, but you don't think that? I mean, you think he will fill the role well?
That's a round 2 pick, man.
Height, size, ratio, speed, yes. I haven't seen him block as like a lead blocker. If he has to be like in an eye or an offset formation and lead through the hole, I don't know. But the team really hasn't done that. So, I just think Juszczyk is a very hard piece to replace, and they have to be careful on how they do it because, we were just talking about Matt Breida. That first run versus Cleveland where he scored on the first play of the game, that was all Juszczyk. 100% Juszczyk. He made the adjustment on the fly where he went to the right and peeled across the formation and picked up the last man on the line of scrimmage, and Breida went right off his block. So, listen, the guy graduated from Harvard. The guy's smart. So
that's crazy. All right, man. Listen, we've been talking about trade rumors and things like that. And I had a good one right up here, man. And my man Kenny says, yo, I really think Odell Beckham Jr. will be a 49er tonight. Like, I know these rumors have died down. I know we've heard the Browns say they ain't trading this guy. We know we saw the Browns send him Cleveland Browns jerseys, which he was like, oh, these look stank, right? Not in a good way. But if this happens, all right, if this scenario happens and OBJ becomes a 49er, I just want to know, how do you guys feel about that? Thank you, Kenny. We'll start with Mike because he's on the call. Nick, and then Tony, you can end it.
All right. No, I don't see it happening. I think that in this, especially when he's saying tonight, that kind of involved the first round trade, right? So I mean, the first round draft pick. I just feel like, I tell you what, I'll put it to you like this. If the receivers that we are looking for, that I think we're looking for, aren't available at 13, and the team trades back, the chance of us getting Odell Beckham Jr. tonight increase. I'll put it to you like that. I hope that makes sense.
Okay, Nick.
My take on it is, Kenny, you need to stop smoking whatever you're smoking. OBJ is not coming to the Niners. Forget about it. We don't need him. I know what he brings, and forget about it. It's not it. We've got a decent room. If we do draft a wide receiver at 13, then why do we need him? Why? I get all this win now, blah, and all that, and I've watched all the shows, and I see all sides of it. But no, I do not want Odell Beckham Jr. here as a rental for maybe 2 years. I just there's to me it makes no sense.
I hear you, man. Before you answer, Tony, the question, I just want to say it got dark real quick. Nick, golly, it was just bright and sunny, and now I can't see you. All right, Tony, go ahead and answer
that. I mean, listen, I don't think he's going to come here. I don't think with this whole new regime in there, they finally got a good offensive-minded coach. They got a GM that's seems to be on board with keeping him around. I just don't see it. And as far as the locker room concerns, he might try to push his weight around and try to act like being excessive sometimes with the way he handles things. But I think the Staleys, if he returns, the veteran leadership of that team will keep his ass in check if he does come here. Because I know that locker room is so damn tight, they don't want any problems with it. And if someone does come into it, they're going to check him, man. Listen, this was their team. He just came to it. That's their locker room. Either you ship up or shape out. Shape up or ship out. So,
no, man, I definitely hear what you guys are saying. I'm not going to go ahead and give you my spiel on the OBJ situation. You guys know I'm an OBJ fan. The only thing I think would stop anything of the OBJ situation is money. But I think that Prague will find a way. Okay. Now, the one thing I do know is I've never seen the 49. I've never seen Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch draft a wide receiver in the first round. So will today be the break of that tradition? Or do you think that they get their guy? They get their guy in the first round if the guy is available? Like Mike said, it's possible it can happen if their guy isn't available. And we all know 49ers like to bring in veterans, right? They like to bring in certain veterans at certain positions. So it's possible. We know it's 9 times out of 10 probably not going to happen. But, Kenny, it is possible. So I'm glad you put that out there in the atmosphere because we don't know. Like, we don't know. So great question. I know people don't like it, but that was a great question. But, yes, we're going to talk about the draft. And we're going to – 17 minutes and we out of here. All right, here we go. Draft time. 13th pick, no trades. 13th, 31, no trades. Okay, you're not trading back. Who are we picking at 13? We'll go with Mike, and we'll go with Tony this time. We'll go with Mike. Let me bring Nick back in here. All right, so we're going to go. The question, Nick, is who are we drafting at 13? And I see your answer, Nick, because I looked at your draft. Who do you want at 13? No trades.
Who's going first? Me?
We'll go Nick, Tony, and then Mike.
Okay, so I'm going Kinlaw, 13.
All right, so you're taking a defensive tackle, Javon Kinlaw at 13. Love it.
Definitely.
All right, who are you going with?
I'm going a wide receiver.
Okay.
Depending on who's there would be my selection. You don't know who's going to be there.
Well, who do you want to be there?
Jesus God.
I know it's tough.
I don't know who I want to be there, bro.
All right, so who's your favorite wide receiver out of this class?
I like them all. I like all 4 of them. I do.
I hear you, but who do you?
I do, but I can't nitpick the one. I just can't do it.
Yes, you can. I need you to say I can I can rock with these guys, but I can't live without this guy at wide receiver. Who would that wide receiver be? That's how I answer the question.
I guess it would be Judy.
Okay. So we got Jerry Judy. Now, if I had to pick, it's tough because if you look at the trend, the 49ers draft safe in the first round typically. Like they go after the position that they know that they need. It's kind of hard to go wrong on the lines and the trenches, but they can't go wrong in the trenches. So before I get my pick, I'm gonna bring Mike back in here. So Mike, at 13, who is the player? Henry Ruggs. All right, so we got 2 wide receivers in a defensive tackle. And I'm not gonna, pick up. You know what I'm saying? I expect a lot of guys to be going off this board at pick 13. Even Jerry Judy might be gone at pick 13. But if I had to pick a player that I think that the 49ers should draft at 13, if he's there and if he's available, it would be Jerry Judy as well. Listen, I know Ruggs. I know his skill set. I like what he could bring to the table. But in the win now mode, man, I just feel like give me that guy that can come in, man, and just keep this machine flowing. Like we ain't got to change up nothing. We don't got to do no tricks. This guy can beat everybody in coverage. Like he can run every route. So I think that's why Tony had to sit there and say, let me go Judy. I love the Kinlaw pick, honestly. And that's pretty good. All right, so now we're going to 31. All right.
Sorry, just a quick question.
Yes.
So if we take a wide receiver at 13, who is expendable in that wide receiver room for you guys?
That's a good question.
I don't think it's being expendable. And I said this on a ton of shows. As you all know, they're talking about Goodwin's pretty much being traded. They're just finding they're working out the contract with the team, whoever it is, and the compensation, whatever it is that they're doing, he's pretty much going to be traded. So tonight. You have to, tonight. You have to replace that individual. I know we signed Travis Benjamin. I know we signed him, and he's that speed guy as of right now with Goodwin off the roster. But we also lost Emmanuel Sanders. We don't know what's going on with Trent Taylor, and we don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurd. So right there, right off the bat, you're talking about 4 spots that potentially 2 that are definitely open, 2 more 4 total that could be potentially open.
So is that your insurance policy you're talking about then? So if we take a wide receiver at 13.
Because it's coincidence that once we added Emmanuel Sanders, this offense took off. It opened everything up. The Debo Samuel got comfortable with because of having the veteran there with the leadership, with the swag that he brought and how he worked with him and taught him how to study and the work ethic. Hold on one second. Justine Anderson's talking.
Did he just say Justina Anderson's calling him?
Talking. Wow, there's deals in place pending the 13th pick. Okay. Yeah. So, and the question mark with Dante Pettis, a person that we traded up for 2 years ago to be this person, but he hasn't been that yet. So I definitely think you need to address a wide receiver. And I don't think as of right now, going in for the 90 man, that someone's out the door immediately. I don't see that.
What about you, Mike?
What exactly was the question?
He wants
like what? Which one is expendable, right?
Yeah.
That's a really tough question because I guess if I'm gonna say Richie James would be the expendable guy if we go wide receiver. I mean, I know we don't have a kick returner back there, but we've got a couple of corners that could do it. I'm assuming this is all pending on everyone being healthy. Also, if everyone's healthy and they return, then the answer is going to be Richie James, because then we get a Trent Taylor who can do the returns. We can try putting Pettis back there again to do the return. That'll boost his confidence, stuff like that. So I'm going to have to say if I'm forced to answer a question, it's going to be Richie James.
What? So you take Richie James?
Wait. Can I ask a question? Wait, can I change it up really quick? Hold on. Does Marquise Goodwin count as somebody that's expendable?
He can because he's still currently a 49er, right?
Oh, so then that's my answer. I take everything I just said back. It's Marquise Goodwin.
Here's a theory, guys. Before we move on to the 156 pick, here's a theory, right? What if? And it's a big what if. But have we really seen Richie James' potential on the 49ers? No, right? Have we really seen all of his potential? Like when they mark up certain plays for him, he's what? Explosive. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, the only time he's not explosive is on kickoff return.
You see him flash, but the problem is he's flashing on plays that are designed specifically to go to him.
Okay.
So what that says to me, and I know Mike, you could attest to this, is I think he's having trouble picking up
the plays.
Correct.
Yeah, we've been saying
how to read on a split of a dime to go to an option route on which way to go. And what route are you going to do because of how the defensive sitting? Right. Listen, I like Richie James, but and on those plays that probably were scripted for him, he looked great.
So my idea is the reason why I'm asking this question, and I'm not sure if Mike or Nick wants to answer it as well. Like, I mean, like if Goodwin is the expendable receiver, right? If we're looking to trade Goodwin, right? This may up the role for other guys. Now, I would say I could see the 49ers trading Dante Pettis tonight. And you guys would probably be like, what? Okay. Now, this was a guy
if we get Judy.
Right. And this is a guy that we did trade up to draft, right? And he just didn't pan out for some reason in the 49er system. Like for some reason, he just couldn't figure it out. We saw flashes, right? Another guy you saw flashes of. All right. So it's possible this is a guy that they can find expendable. So I'm just going to leave it out there, go against the grain, and I'm going to go with Pettis. All right. 156. We're in the 5th round. We're going to do these picks and we're going to get on up out of here. Yes, Tony.
Hey, just real quick, I'm on Twitter right now, and Natalie Eganoff, she works for 97.5 The Fanatic for Philadelphia. This was tweeted about an hour ago, and she said, sources telling me that the Eagles are involved in discussions for Marquise Goodwin. So potentially, the Eagles could be one of the suitors for making a move to acquire.
They'll
Marquise.
get a speed guy. They'll get a speed guy.
Listen, I'm not saying that's official. I saw it pop on Twitter. I'm just sharing it with everybody. So, you guys are in the loop and understand what's going on.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy because just reading my uncle's tweets, from earlier about the news, and then Josina Anderson's joint since wide receiver CeeDee Lamb told me he spoke to 49ers. I don't know if Lamb is the guy that John Lynch likes, but hey, man, we're going to soon find out. All right, so the 31, let's go back to that 31st pick because I don't think we ever drafted the 31st pick. My apologies. Who are we picking at 31?
I'm going Albert O.
So we got Nick taking Kinlaw, and then I already know, he's going tight end, Missouri. Now, do you guys feel like drafting the tight end at 31? I mean, he could be one of those foundational pieces.
No.
But you have your foundational piece already. Do you need another foundational piece at 31 at tight end? Or do you want a nice, super complimentary piece for what you already have to run that 12 personnel package? He's going Albert Okwuegbunam. I hope I said that right.
That's the one.
Say that 5 times fast. That's Mike's boy.
That's Mike's guy. That is Mike's
Mike.
Guy.
Yeah,
right.
Mike.
So Nick's going Albert O, tight end out of Missouri. Where you going, Mike?
I'm going to ride it out with him. I like that pick. I love that pick. That's the one.
Okay. And who do you got, Tony?
At 31, again, pending who's on the board. It could be either a corner, it could be a tackle.
You're not gonna like my pick.
Man. I know they had interest in Urza Cleveland.
Yeah, tackle.
I could see maybe him, possibly Jackson, the tight end, the tackle from the hell's his first name?
Josh Jackson.
Is it Josh Jackson?
Josh Jackson out of Houston.
No, Austin Jackson from USC.
Oh, USC. Got you.
Um,
Josh Jones. I'm sorry. Josh Jones.
Because I think Austin Jackson gives you the ability. He could slide in and play guard in the meantime. If we don't decide just to grab like Ruiz, Cesar Ruiz if he's there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like being that we're not trading in this situation and we only have 7 picks, 2 space 5.
Yeah.
You got to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will. So I would take a guy that could give you, okay, we know he's still questionable. He didn't 100% commit. We do know he's working out, but if you could add that tackle to compete with what we have on the current roster, but in the meantime, if Staley comes back, he can compete with the other guys for the right guard spot. The Brunskill, whoever else Compton they just signed. So that's I mean, defensive tackle is a possibility too. It all depends.
Do you think that we will trade back any of the picks? Or I know obviously this is the thing, but do you think we do trade back any of the picks in the first round? Or do you think we go with what we've got and make that, like Briggy said, the foundation piece? Because we got 2 first-round picks here. So I know we don't pick for another few rounds, but you've got to take, my opinion is you've got to take the best players that are there when you get the picks.
I think, honestly, my honest opinion, I honestly think they're going to trade. I think John Lynch has 2 guys in his head for that 13th pick. That's my honest opinion. I think if those guys are not there, or if there are multiple guys, like let's just say hypothetically, there's 2 receivers, 3 receivers on the board at 13. We've been doing this in all our mocks. We called Denver. They trade back 2 spots. You pick up the 3rd rounder. No. Is it 3rd rounder or 4th rounder? 80. What was that? Wayne, a 3rd rounder or 4th rounder we picked up from them?
4th.
We would add a 4th rounder, move back 2 spots, and now you still have, even if they take 2 receivers off the board, you still have 2 receivers to pick from, and or the defensive tackle, and or the offensive tackle, and or the corner. 31, I can tell you right now, I would bet money that there's a deal in place with probably multiple teams pending who is on the board. There's a report saying today that there's 5 teams interested in jumping in the bottom of round 1 to take the tight end from Notre Dame. Cole Kemet,
yep.
They want him. Teams are looking to move up to grab him. So right then and there, 31 is a hot spot. It's going to be a hot spot. And if teams like if players slip through the cracks for some reason, they're going to jump and grab these guys, especially if it's a quarterback. So I honestly think if they get what they want in return, I think they move both picks. But 13, I don't think they're going to go far. I think 13, the most they'll drop maybe 5 spots. 31.
Sorry, I've got a quick question, because obviously I'm quite new to this draft stuff and how it all works. Do teams stitch each other up? So Lynch will get a phone call saying, I don't know, from the Titans that we want to take X, or the Jets want to take X, or the Ravens, whoever. And they obviously trust what the other GMs and everything are saying. Is that how it works? Is that what they do?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, but there is somewhat of like a Quasimodo negotiation there, where there's like, okay, listen, I know, what are we? Atlanta, who's behind us?
Tampa, and then
Tampa. We all know Tampa wants an offensive tackle. Let's say Mekhi Becton's sitting there on the clock. We're on the clock. And 4, 5, 6. Or no, let's say CJ Henderson is there on the clock. We all know Atlanta. We all know Tampa wants to take a corner, we'll say, because they want to shore up their pass defense, because they want to make a run this year. and Atlanta sitting at 16 saying, screw that. We ain't waiting. We're going to jump them. This is who we want. This is what we'll give you. They flop. They make their pick. We get our return. We move back to spots. There's games. Sometimes they don't fully tell the truth, but, you know, it's pretty much, if I would say, if I would have known, or if I was there, that's what I think it would be like. I was never in a draft war room, but.
So basically, you're trusting what other people say they're going to do. They don't want to show their hands to everyone, you know.
Well,
because
if someone calls you and say, "Listen, I want this guy," but if I don't come to you and get your pick, they're taking them behind you. Now, clearly, if that's not the guy, like, I mean, if you know, like, they don't need a wide receiver and they're truly missing a corner, you do that deal, you move back, they take their guy, and then we hope we can get our guy. But, you know, it's a crapshoot, man. Some people call each other's bluffs. I think I'll give you an example. John Elway and John Lynch, I think they do have a relationship. I think they do trust each other. And I think they're flat open and honest with them. But then you look at the scenario where when his first year with the Chicago Bear trade, I think John Lynch pulled it right off went up. They absolutely took advantage of them. They could have said, yeah, well, we like Mitch Trubisky too. So, boom, they made the trade. Mitch Trubisky wasn't going to. It was always Solomon Thomas. So they moved back a pick. They got an extra pick or 2 or 3. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks for clearing that up, Tony. It seems like a real minefield and a lot of mind games, and obviously you've got to trust whoever you are behind or in front to do what they're going to do. But thanks for clearing that up, man.
Yeah, I think number one, we're gonna wrap this show up, fellas. I think number one, you trust your draft board. Number two, you sit and you see who falls, because I guarantee you some people are going to trade up because they're going to reach. They see their guy, they're going to try to get their guy, and then picks might just start falling. That's probably the only way you don't see the 49ers trying to trade back. They probably can get more and better value for that 13th pick, right? They probably can get more in return. They probably will get a first and a third, or and I know all the mock simulators are a little weird, right? And I'm not sure how they allow you to trade, but it's really hard to get a first and a third and whatever. So you kind of gotta, like, you know, just pick whatever they allow you to go. But this is real life, man. And if a team wants to move up because they see their player and they got you, then you better pay me. You're gonna have to give up a little bit more than what these mock draft simulators are allowing. So I think that tonight is going to be epic. What I decided to do, what I want to do is we're going to do day 2 of this. So like before the draft on day 2, if we have picks on day 2, we're going to bring you a day 2 show, you know, to sit there and talk about now where are we going on day 2. All right. What do we want to address on day 2? So we did our day 1s, right? Right now, we don't know what we're going to have. Right now, only thing we know is that we have the 13th and the 31st pick. Pending nothing. There's nothing pending. Okay. There's some rumors out there. Marquise is able to go and talk. He has permission to go talk about trading with other teams and all that good stuff. But everything right now is pending. Come 8 p.m., we're going to know what's going to go down. So we'll sit back, sit tight. Guys, let's wrap this show up. Let's go final thoughts. We'll go Nick, then we'll go Mike, and then Tony.
Okay, my final thoughts aren't to do with the draft. It's just everyone stay safe, social distancing. Let's throw the cards where they may go. And just everyone out there that's watching this, stay safe, people. That's it. I can't add anything. I just want to make sure that all my brothers and sisters are safe. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Mike?
Yeah, I don't want to follow that up. That was super nice.
Yeah.
My final thoughts are, man, let's just have some fun. Let's be excited. Let's keep open minds tonight. And then I'll see you guys later on for the full draft show.
Tony?
Yes, sir. I'm down. I'm ready. And Nick Quirk, pretty much, that was a very, very nice statement. And seriously, people, just take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear masks. Do what you got to do because this shit's no joke.
Exactly right. 18,000 people dead in the UK. We got to stop this shit. Seriously, stop it now. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I can promise you guys, it will get better. It just starts with us. We have to listen to what they're telling us to do, and things will get better eventually. But shout out to the NFL, and shout out to Zoom, and shout out to the networks that are there, and shout out to the players and their families that all want to continue keeping life as normal as possible, and bringing us the NFL draft. So shout out to Roger Goodell. Shout out to all 32 owners. We truly appreciate you, because without you, we have no content to talk about. Or no new content to talk about, so we can't wait to come back. Guys, make sure you're tuning in 7:30 p.m. EST. That stands for Eastern Standard Time. You're going to want to be here. You're going to see us dressed up. You're going to see us grubbing. I won't be drunk. I will not drink tonight until after we pick a pick or selection or whatever like that. Maybe we'll play a drinking game. Maybe we'll play a something type of game, whatever, on tonight's show. But I cannot wait, guys, for that. Very quickly, I want to send a huge shout out. Hey, George, I appreciate the contribution, brother. I got my mouse. It is working and flowing smoothly. I know somebody asked me about that on the show last night. And also someone asked about the music. Someone said that they wanted to mix or add some plugins. Yo, email me. I'm all for that. I can send you the session via WeTransfer, and you can go ahead and hook it up how you want. I'm not an engineer. I'm just a producer. Two different things. Those that know music know that that's two different things. All right. So if you're an engineer, you're watching this show, if you know who that engineer was, please make sure you email us with our email address. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Here we go. Email us. Bam. Right there. My bad.
I think you should have a sample of me being a dumbass limey on your show somehow.
We'll figure something out. But Nick, we truly appreciate you for being on the show today, man. Listen, I know it's nighttime. I know you're about to go to bed, but I know your phone is going to be zzz, 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 zzz. That's how many things that's probably going to go down. All right. So, Nick, we truly appreciate you guys. We're going to get this show off the board because I got to cook. Mike got his wings. I know he want to taste one of them joints. I know I can smell them. I know Tony got things to do, and Nick's got to get ready for the draft and get ready for bed. All right, so let's take this show out. Mike, kick us out, baby.
Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always stay faithful.
Man, long as faithful's in it, that's all that matters, man. We out, y'all. Peace. No breaks, pumped up.